That video that I started things off with is a real video of the very last time I went camping a few weeks ago. So I do not have the best luck with camping. I like camping and I also like the rain, but the two aren't the best together. Today's episode is camp, and ironically, it do be raining here. So rain makes me think of camping, despite it not being a normal part of camping for most people. Anyway, that story has nothing to do with how I'm going to connect this prompt with the graveyard diorama. Instead of approaching this in a more expected way, like a campfire or a tent, like none of that really belongs in a graveyard. So today might be a shorter video, but some of the best ones are coming, so please come back tomorrow to keep watching this series. Actually, now that I've got my editing cap on, I had a fun idea for this episode after that first part that you just watched. So if you're looking at the time code on this video and you're like, this isn't that short of an episode, in fact, it's kind of long. That's because in the spirit of camp and just this project almost coming to a close, I thought this would be a fantastic episode to sprinkle in some of the comments that you all have left on the videos in this series. I did start like mid-September, so I was quite a bit ahead by the time videos started to come out. Towards the end here, these videos have started to catch up with me and I'm hustling to get them done, but have no fear. We will see this through. So I'm finally at a point where I can look through the comments and reply to some of them. There have been some really awesome comments, lots of funny and good stuff. First people I want to shout out are Anxiety Duck, CBP3 Dragon, and L_Cheterero_Polar. Apologies if I didn't pronounce that correctly. Those three people I just mentioned actually participated in Junktober this year. Here is some of their work. So rad, so cool. I'm honored. I had no idea if anybody would participate. If you did and I didn't shout you out, I apologize. I must have missed it. Feel free to tag me on Instagram and add hashtag Junktober or hashtag Junktober 2025. Any combination of those things. Those are the best ways to let me know that you have participated. So thank you so much for those three for participating. So I'm going to throw it back to Betsy in the past, but throughout the entire episode, I'm going to be highlighting and showcasing a bunch of comments from all of you. So thank you so much. If you leave comments, it helps. It makes me happy. It's really encouraging and it's just really cool. And yeah, back to Betsy in the past. I'm just going to spend today adding what I'm calling signs of life. That includes some of the props I've made in the previous episodes, like the lanterns and the flower bouquets. And yeah, I'm calling it signs of life because that's how I'm connecting it to camp. I feel like I want this to feel very lived in. People have walked through this cemetery. Things are happening. There's wildlife maybe tucked away. That's kind of what I mean by signs of life. So without further ado, let me start gluing in some more of the props and see if we can really make this feel lived in. The lanterns are probably the biggest thing that kind of connects today to the prompt. It's finally time to glue in the lanterns. So I super glued them onto these sticks just to paint them. I'm gonna cut them off and I'm going to put them about and see how it looks. I also, under my computer stand, apparently, have the sticks that I had made for the lanterns. I gotta be honest, I'm not in love with these. I don't like the wash that I did. I think that they look kind of ugly. But let me size them up, put them up in the diorama, and let's see if you agree. And by if you agree, I mean I won't get to see your comments until after I've posted this, so we'll see if I agree with myself once I see them kind of dry fit into the diorama. Shout out to Matt and Art who sent me this video. Which I had never seen before. It made me laugh. And also, it's a really good point. You should always wear a mask when you're doing kind of anything. If you think you should be wearing a mask, you probably should be. So thank you, Matt. This made my day. And is a very good public service announcement.
Okay, you know what? I do like them. I do think they look pretty good. I'm actually kind of surprised. I did that for the video, so I could have some footage to show you that it looked bad, but I actually think that looked pretty good. It adds a nice sense of scale. Everything in this is a little big. The candles are really big per like my Colonel Mustard scale. The gravestones aren't that big, but like things are kind of big. So the lanterns, I think, help bring the scale to more of an appropriate kind of size. Like I said, the candles are huge. If this is a lamp post, the candles are massive, but that's okay. Maybe they're just massive candles. So I am actually gonna glue a few of these in right now. I'll probably drill a little hole with my pin vise to attach this a little bit more securely into the ground. I also really like the way that the wood is painted up on the crosses that I made, the skulls. That was on day pointy, episode 19. So October 19th, I posted that video. I like how that wood looks better. And I think I'm gonna give these sticks a second coat with that wood color because that stain went on a lot better and it's a very rich wood color. So I'm gonna glue these into place first, paint them up, glue on the lanterns, and see how it looks.
Now I want to highlight a few comments on the brick episode where this happened. There was foam everywhere. My table is way over there. There were rocks all the way up on this bookshelf. One from Con Mad Ben, The Great Brickening of 2025. Buried Davy 5489, you will be finding those bricks you dropped forever and ever. Yes. Corwin's Tabletop said, I feel that in my soul. Don't we all, Corwin's Tabletop? Don't we all? And finally, Ralph Hodge 4295, better than it being paint. They've got a point, because I don't own this apartment.
Okay, the minute I stopped filming, this happened. Why? Chlorosis. When excess cyanoacrylate monomers vaporize or become airborne, reacting with moisture in the air. I suspect the paint was still wet. I did cover up the other blooming from that previous episode with more grass. So now I'm just gonna glue in a bunch more of the posts. I'm going to paint them and then I'm going to wait a little bit to glue the lanterns in instead of doing them one right after another, because I've learned from my mistakes and that is gonna yield some weird super glue-ish.
This next section of highlighted comments I'm going to call Junk Drawer Studio Out of Context. Going into the forbidden section of catacombs without permission is a surefire way to get cursed. Been living in Australia for 12 years now and pretty sure those bars are as Australian as the Outback Steakhouse. You heard it here first from John Stamos himself. I, for one, approve of the new mustard-based gaming scale. If you've been watching my videos, you should know what that one's about. Ravelard. It's the future. I don't know if the fact you feel like you have to point out its fake bones to be amusing or unnerving. I don't know. You tell me. Now I want a breakfast burrito. Me too. Always. Concentration face. Mars is populated entirely by robots. Hee 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 hee. You didn't mirror the stamp when carving. Okay, I can't help myself. That one does need context. I showed this in day 15 episode. And yeah, that's what was wrong with the stamp. I spent like 2 hours carving this, and when you stamp it, it's backwards.
Okay, I sort of did it. Tried again, happened again. I swear the paint dried. I don't know what's going on. I think I'm gonna leave it. This one back here, I actually just wedged on and tightened up the loop so it is not gonna move, but I didn't even glue it because I don't like that weird stuff. And I glued it to one more, which it also did the weird bloomy thing. But lucky for me, I have a few more days of Junktober, and I'm looking at my list off screen right now, and I think in 2 episodes from now, that is the 28th, I will have a solution for that. So I'm not super stressed about it. Anyway, let's glue a few more lanterns onto just the ground. I might just do like 2 or 3, maybe just 2, yeah. And just see if I can add, you know, a bit more signs of life, as it were. And I'm also going to glue on a couple of the little bouquets that I made in the trinket episode. Over the last few days since I made these, I gotta be honest, I don't love them. But I don't know if you've kind of caught my vibe over this series. I really don't want to have a single day of prompts of art fully go to waste. So like, for example, in the festival episode, I made those flags. They were a total bust. Then I decided to make the cemetery sign, which I actually love, and the patina on it looks rad. So I want to try gluing in some of these. Probably not going to use all 5 that I made. I'm going to pick the smallest ones and see if I can add like a little bit of weathering to kind of make them look like they're not brand new, fresh bouquets of flowers. I don't know. Just going to glue a couple of those in with the lanterns and see how it looks.
Okay, I mentioned this in a previous episode, very subtly. It was on screen for like 2 seconds, but we have, and by we, I mean you guys, have chosen a name for this guy. And his name is, it's a drum roll, Square Earl. Square Earl. Earl, just the name Earl, was the winner. The comment was made by Elfbait3774. Elfbait has left a lot of really nice comments on this series, so thank you so much for all of your comments. But Earl was a great suggestion, and here's the thing. Earl had 4 votes. That's the cool thing about being a small content creator. I don't have a huge audience, so if I ever ask you guys to vote for something in the comments, there's hundreds of you at least watching these. Vote for your favorite, because if you get like 2 other people to vote, you probably could win. But no, I loved the suggestion, Earl. I said Square Earl. Yeah, that's because I had to combine it with my other favorite suggestion, which didn't technically win, Square Jimothy. Square Jimothy was suggested by Corwin's Tabletop, so thank you again for this comment, Corwin's Tabletop. Some of the other suggestions in no particular order: Saint Porcus, Tyler. That was good. Little Squareface. I don't know if that was actually a name suggestion, but it was in a comment, and I did like it.
Ended up gluing on exactly 2 more lanterns, so I have 3 total, 3 on lampposts, 2 on the ground. This is actually the opposite ratio that I thought I would like, because I actually think the posts look better and the random lanterns on the ground look fine. What I'll probably end up doing is adding a little bit of flock on top of them to really, again, make this feel a little bit more like these have been here for a while. I do have 1 more episode, if you can even believe it, that does involve more greenery and more flock. And I know that sounds wild looking at the state of this board that is basically just fully vegetation at this point. You'll have to stay tuned for that. I actually think I might call it there. Forgive me, I just went on and on about the bouquets. But guys, I don't think I'm gonna add them. It's a sad day. Let's pour one out for the little bouquets that are probably not going to make it into this diorama after all. But honestly, the last 5 videos starting tomorrow are all packed with interesting content and the final details for this diorama, which is already like popping off with detail. I can't wait for it. So today's just a chill one, but the lanterns, they do look nice, I gotta say. Yeah, I'm digging this. I think it's gonna be fun. And hey, I have a couple extra lanterns for maybe another piece someday. That's gonna do it for camp.
I really appreciate everybody's support. A lot of people just saying that it looked great and that they were excited for the next video. That's all like so nice to hear and like really inspiring and motivating, I should say. A surprising amount of people also said that this series and my videos like inspired them to make something of their own and to start their own build. And that's so cool. That's like, it truly motivates me so much. Like to inspire somebody to do something else that they want to do is just really rewarding and cool. So thank you for feeling that way. And thank you for leaving all of these super nice comments. There's like literally too many to put on the screen here. I really appreciate it. But stay tuned. We've got only a few videos left and we're really seeing the finish line now. We're in the home stretch. I really do surprisingly have a little bit more cool detail to come. So please come back tomorrow. And again, thank you so much for all these kind comments. I'm really glad I did this series and I'm glad I have people watching and leaving nice comments. I mean, that's just like the coolest thing ever. So thanks and see you tomorrow. Like and type product, more like and subscribe. Am I right? Yes. Yes, you are.